Let's go. It's time to go, go, go. Woo. It's time to go, go, go. Let's go. It's time to go, go, go. Woo. Let's go. What you waiting for? Your prayers are already answered. Do you really want it? Ain't got no time to wait. Let's go. Green light. Step on the gas. Don't let no one pass. Put some pep in your steps. Follow me this way. Red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light. Go. Do you wanna go, go, go? I'ma run this show. Do you wanna go? I got the green light. It's time to go. Woo. Let's go. Red light. It's time to go, go, go. Green light. It's time to go, go, go. Let's go. Red light. It's time to go, go, go. Green light. It's time to go. Make up your mind. Check your attitude. Make your mark. That's all you gotta do. Step on the gas. Don't let no one pass. If anyone asks, you got things to do. Let's go. Red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light. Go. Do you wanna go, go, go? I'ma run this show. Do you wanna go?
Please welcome to the stage Westlake Senior Adam Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the National Anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we'd hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning and welcome to the 2023-24 school year in the Eanes Independent School District. My name is Jonathan Orell and I am honored to MC today's Convocation celebration. I started out in the CDC and went to Cedar Creek Elementary. I'll be a middle schooler at Hill Country Middle School this year. Today's convocation is packed with outstanding student performances, videos, and of course, a special a cappella solo performed in a trapeze by Dr. Arnett. Just kidding, but yes, I am so happy to be here in front of these incredible teachers and staff. I am also especially proud to start the program with the long-standing tradition of roll call in Eanes. Please turn your attention to the screens.
Good morning and welcome to the 2023 Convocation celebration. I hope you had a relaxing summer.
And on behalf of all the students in Eanes ISD, I want to thank you for making a positive difference each and every day.
We're asking everybody to join in on celebrating all of our campuses and departments. Please give a round of applause for all as we start off with BCE.
BCE starts it off because we're the best. My name is Nina Forrest, and I'm a 5th grader at Barton Creek Elementary. Mrs. Jusick, let's make some noise for the Blue Jays.
Hi, I'm Robert. I'm from Bridge Point Elementary. It's here from the Bobcats.
Hi, my name is Melka. I'm first grade at CCE. Let's hear for the Eagles.
Hi, my name is Aubrey and I'm a 4th grader at Eanes Elementary, home of the Mustangs. Everyone welcome the Mustangs with your loudest cheer.
Hi, my name is Paxton. I am a 3rd grader at Forest Trail Elementary. Let's give a warm welcome to the Falcons.
My name is Sophia and I'm a 4th grader at Valley View Elementary. Put your hands together for the Cardinals.
All right, that was good effort, but I know we can do better. My name is Lincoln, and I'm a 7th grader at Hill Country Middle School, and I know y'all can give a big roar for the Cougars.
Oh, Hill Country, you think you've got it, but not so fast. My name is Anushka, and I'm an 8th grader at Westridge Middle School. I'm sure we can pump it up loud for the Wildcats.
Whatever, y'all. Everyone knows that Westlake is the best. My name's Tess, and I'll be a senior this year. Let's get rowdy and hear it for the Shaps.
Don't forget our ATS crew. My name is Kate. Let's give a big shout out for our ATS teachers and staff. Go back.
Great job, everyone. Now let's recognize some other departments within the district. Let's hear it for our amazing staff at Central Administration.
To the hardworking individuals that keep all of our technology working, Technology Services. To those who take care of some of our youngest, Eanes Care Early Education and After School Care.
How about our technical theater students, who make this look like a Broadway show?
And my favorite department, keep my bellies nice and full, Sound Nutrition. Getting us safely to and from school each day, our amazing transportation team. And the people who raises millions of dollars to fund, teachers, and support our district in so many ways. The Eanes Education Foundation.
And finally, our maintenance and operations team, which include rentals, safety, and our hard-working custodians and grounds crew.
I am Colby Cobo. I teach kindergarten here at Barton Creek Elementary.
We are so lucky to have Colby's positive energy, her vibes. Every day is a great day. On Fridays, it's Fry-yay. It's a dance party. Let's get crack-a-lackin', like she likes to say. She's just fun, loving, all the things you'd want in a coworker and friend.
I think students connect with Miss Cobo because she's incredibly authentic and loving with all the kids.
She's been so kind to me, and she does a lot of fun lessons. She's helpful when it comes to me having problems. She's kind, thoughtful, and generous of making people feel happy. She says I'm a pocket princess.
The thing I want them to take away the most is to just be a kind person, be inclusive, have empathy. So that's what I try my hardest to show in my classroom and have with my students, and I hope to also do the same with my peers and colleagues.
Her love of children is authentic, and I think that's what makes her stand out, is that she is real.
She's just a really great person, but a really wonderful educator who truly cares for all of her students, and she gives them her world and makes learning important and relevant for them.
Really, I want nothing more than a child to walk out of my door loving being at school and waking up every day being excited to be here. And so if I can be the child's first teacher and give them that opportunity, that's just fills my bucket and makes my heart so happy.
Congratulations, Miss Kobo. You are such a good teacher. I think I like how you got that award. Oh, I already made her a card. It said, I love you, Miss Kobo. I am really proud of her. Congratulations for being Educator of the Year.
Kindergarten is such a fun place thanks to Colby.
My name is Carlin Crawford. I'm a first grade teacher at Bridgepoint Elementary. Ms. Crawford does a great job of building a community of trust where students feel like they can be themselves and make mistakes. And that's not just shown by the way she treats her kids, but reflective of her practice. I know her students love to come to her class every day, and just because they feel challenged but also loved.
She's the nicest teacher in the school, and you're really lucky you got her because she never yells. And she was the one that helped me read. And now I can read 98 words in 1 minute. And that's what I'm really happy to have her.
My best strategy for connecting with students is just getting to know them really well, getting to know what their interests are. Also, I think just being silly with them and showing them that I'm a human too that makes mistakes, and emphasizing that to them and just trying to be my authentic self, because I think they appreciate a genuine teacher.
She makes every child feel special and heard. They just feel like the best versions of themselves in her room.
She never looks down on you, and she always makes you feel like you're the special one and you never do anything wrong. She'll never give you a reason to be nervous or to get mad at her.
I hope that my classroom is a place where they can celebrate their differences and learn that respect and appreciation for other people's differences, and going through the world once they leave my classroom with tolerance and acceptance, and also a really big sense of confidence.
She makes her classroom super fun. She makes learning something that the children always want to do. The kids have incredible confidence in themselves, so she's the best.
It's special because she came to my baseball game, and I'm really happy she did. I love you, Miss Crawford, and thanks for being my teacher this year.
I'm Katie Goldschmidt. I am one of the behavior support teachers here at Cedar Creek.
Ms. Goldschmidt creates a safe environment where our kids can come and ask questions and ask for help, and they really feel included and feel like they can be themselves.
Everybody should know she's like a good teacher. Only like 20 of the kids in the whole entire school go there.
And when students like acting uncontrollably, she always like calms he or she down.
I've gotten a lot better at regulating my emotions because of her help.
The kids that I work with struggle sometimes, and so, being able to help them get through the day and have them be available for learning and for making connections and making friends is really rewarding, and I love being part of that for them.
I think they connect with her because she's so real with them and she's so purposeful with the conversations that she has with them. She really makes sure that their well-being is secured and they're comfortable here at school and that their education is top priority.
Miss Goldschmidt is so magical. She's sort of like a translator. She helps kids communicate what they need in a more positive way, and she helps the teachers who work with them see how to meet their needs.
My impact hopefully is that, things are running smoothly and everyone's having a successful time, and that makes a better learning environment for everybody.
I'd just like to say that I'm glad she's been teaching here, and I'm glad I was able to have her as my teacher for these years, right? It's pretty cool.
I was surprised when she told me that she was Teacher of the Year. Like, very surprised. And I was like, pretty proud of her.
Congratulations, Miss Coachman, for winning a prize.
What great teachers we have here in Eanes. We also have great leadership in our Board of Trustees. I'd like to welcome Board President, Mr. James Bradley, to the stage.
Thank you. On behalf of the Eanes ISD Board of Trustees, I want to express our gratitude for you and for the passion you bring to the work you do. You inspire us. You help motivate us. You are the reason for a lot of the work we do, and we are grateful that you, specifically you, are right here. As we kick off the new year, there are strong feelings of enthusiasm and excitement and energy. This is a time of renewal, a time of hope, a time to set goals. For those of us whose lives are tied to a school calendar, this is our other Happy New Year, with all the opportunities a new year brings. Your Board of Trustees is committed to supporting you in the work you do. While our official responsibilities are very high level and strategic, it is important for us to stay in touch with what is happening on campuses and around our district. We know the high-level decisions we make have wide-ranging impacts, and we need to know how they impact you. Last year, as we came out of the COVID cloud, you might have seen trustees in the halls of your building, or at a sporting event or a concert. You may have even seen one hamming it up as Mother Ginger at the Nutcracker Spectacular. It was a really fun experience, I have to say. We enjoy visiting you where you work. We are motivated in our work by the energy we see in you. When angry emails start filling my trustee inbox, I try to spend time around students to experience the excitement and energy you inspire in them. Last year, you might have also seen trustees on campus, not as substitutes as we had hoped, but helping perform other duties on and around campus. Trustees volunteered in school libraries. We served as hall monitors. We were there for drop-off in the morning and many other fun duties. And I had a great time serving as the crossing guard at Bridgepoint, which I did as often as my schedule allowed. We will seek out even more opportunities to connect with you in the coming year. We truly enjoy connecting with our Eanes ISD family. And this extends beyond classrooms to include transportation, technology services, child nutrition, maintenance and operations, central admin, our new police department, which we're very excited about, and all the groups that keep our district on track for excellence. Now, in closing, I want to share a quick story with you. The trustees recently met with a candidate for a cabinet-level position. We asked all the usual job interview questions you'd expect to hear. Then someone asked, with your skills and experience, you could work in the private sector. Why do you choose to work in public education? Isn't that a great question? I wish I was smart enough to have thought of it. And I'm sure many of you have had and asked yourself something similar at some point in your public education career. So how did the candidate answer? Probably the same way most of us would answer, including unpaid trustees who volunteer upwards of 40, 60, 80 hours or more per month. We, the people in this theater, are here because we love public education. We love educating kids. We love and respect the people we get to work with, our Eanes ISD family. We may not love all the downs, but we sure do love the ups. People outside of public education may not understand, but this is our passion. That's why we're here. Let me wrap this up with much love, admiration, and appreciation from your Board of Trustees. We are glad you are here. Thank you.
My name is Jonathan Azaron, and I'm one of the art teachers at Eanes Elementary.
Jonathan Azaron deserves this so very much. He is such a kind and generous person. And what he does that's so beautiful is he connects with every child and helps them find their creativity.
I think I've just started a lot of new projects that are like on higher levels.
He's taught me how to make my art projects be more realistic or make them have shadows, and that made me get better at art. He's just really good at teaching.
Well, he's super cool, one, and I think that he has a way of having fun and being playful, and he has a way of connecting with students in a way that they feel seen and valued and appreciated, and they leave his class feeling like they're artists, and that's the goal.
Elementary students have such uninhibited creativity, and they really bring so much joy into the classroom that I just want to reciprocate that.
When you enter his room, it's like you feel good inside. He's very welcoming, and he wants you to have a good time, so it's very centered around that. I like him because if you really need help, he'll come straight to you, and then he'll help you.
He's influenced me to do many things with art, crafts. I didn't know that clay was art too. It was very cool.
I've done art all my life, and so I call it my passion, and it's just awesome to be a part of this shared exploration.
Mr. Azaron is nice and wonderful. I think he's helped me be a better person and helped me at the art. You definitely deserve the Educator of the Year award, and I'm very lucky to have you as my teacher, and I just want to say thank you.
My name is Brad Corbett. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Forest Trail Elementary.
Mr. Corbett stands out because he is such a bright light here on our campus. He really is just a big burst of energy. He really knows how to get the kids hype and the staff really excited as well. One time he wore a 70s suit, and he even shaved a handlebar mustache on his face just to celebrate his students.
I'm a real positive person. I try to bring enthusiasm and excitement here because if I'm excited, then the kids are excited. So you got to bring it every single day.
I used to not like school so much because I didn't get it and it was boring, but he'd make it something different than what other teachers are doing and just made everything, again, more interactive and fun for everybody.
It was like division karate or something. You subtract, multiply, divide, and his shoe flew up and it made a hole in there and then it fell down. He just makes it so much fun, and now I really like it.
If we pass our unit test, he would take darts and he would shoot them at the balloons. And if he missed, he did 20 push-ups. And it really encourages the students to do well.
The students are so engaged when I do that kind of stuff. It's like their favorite thing. So I'm willing to get dirty. I'm willing to get sweaty, and so even if I fail at any kind of physical activity, they love it.
He's this person that has this one side that's playful and funny, and then he's got this other side that's caring and nurturing and will find out what's happening in a kid's life. And I think they connect with him so much because they know how much he cares.
And he's a good mentor for everybody. and I feel like I've just grown with him because he's done a lot of that for us.
I probably got more mature in this class because in 4th grade I wasn't really listening and stuff, but when I got in his class, I listened more.
He's made me feel more confident and comfortable in my classroom.
He's kind and inclusive to everyone.
He really pours his heart and soul into, his teaching, and every decision that he makes is based on what is best for the kids, and that's always his guiding principle. And I think that just at his heart, he is a teacher.
I definitely think he teaches for fun. He's really great.
Just thank you for being a great teacher.
My name is Courtney Jerome. I teach 2nd grade at Valley View Elementary.
I would say Ms. Jerome is probably the warmest person I've ever worked with. She has a huge heart, and she truly has an immediate empathetic connection.
She doesn't know a stranger at our school. If someone's going through something, she takes notice, and I love that about her. I think it's really special.
Everything that she does is for you. Nothing she does is for her. She'll help you through everything that you need every step of the way.
And when you're feeling down, she'll always make you feel better. She brings so much joy to the classroom. She's very kind, she's helpful, and she helps us when we need help. She's always there for you whenever you need her. She helps you learn in a very, very fun way. It just feels like she always has a smile on her face.
She has such a wonderful presence in the classroom, and I think that's what makes students love coming to school.
She can connect to students on a level that makes them immediately feel disarmed, comfortable, that they have a one-to-one connection with her that nobody else has, even though everybody else has it. So she makes them all feel incredibly special.
I hope that my students leave 2nd grade knowing themselves a little bit better and knowing who they are as people and their place in this world a little bit. I hope that they have seen pieces of themselves that they can love and appreciate, and I hope that I'm helping them find that and see that.
Courtney is so fun. She was the first person I met here and made me feel like I was welcome here, and she has always been that person for me. I'm very thankful for her.
Words don't describe how good she is. She's just the best teacher. I knew she had a chance, and I'm so proud that she's Educator of the Year. Good job, Ms. Jerome. You're the best teacher in the world.
That was really great. And did you know all of these educator videos are filmed and produced by Westlake High School students? That's right. Miss Emily McIntyre does a great job leading these talented students. I'd also like to welcome state champion and number 10 in the world, Elite Visual Ensemble, or EVE. Get ready to be wowed.
Rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. One minute I held the key. Next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield. was when I ruled the world. Here Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Viva, viva my soul and shield, our missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name. Never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world.
I'm David Coons. I am the U.S. History, 8th grade U.S. History teacher at Hill Country Middle School.
Mr. Coons is extremely professional, but he can be very silly and very funny, and the kids seem to really love that. He just has an infectious smile and an infectious personality that you want to be around.
He's so passionate about what he does. He's always happy to be there, so that just makes everyone else be happy to be there too.
So he's really kind and caring, and even if you're nervous, he helps you feel at home.
I just think David is the epitome of an excellent educator. He has such a positive attitude every day. He greets his students every day that they walk into the classroom and really tries to connect with them and laugh with them. And he also has an incredible memory. So he remembers little things that they tell him. He checks in on them. And I think, his sense of humor is what they really connect with and love.
In our NJHS meeting, we did a raffle. They get to pie Mr. Coons in the face, so that was pretty fun.
I feel like many teachers would be like, no, I can't do that. It's embarrassing. But you work so hard, so this is your reward, and I'll embarrass myself for it.
Every day, I have amazingly funny, quirky, weird 13 and 14-year-olds that I interact with, and they're amazing. I can have really interesting conversations with them, and we can talk about current events, and they've got their own opinions, and watching their brains kind of go back and forth between child and adult is really fascinating to me, and all students just want to be treated with respect.
I would say what makes him a great teacher is the way he's so happy and interactive. He kind of just sat down and talked with us about life and if we're ready to go on to high school.
And we were just talking about what led up in our lives to getting to NJHS and where our backgrounds were in elementary school, and it was just really fun to get to know him, and it's he really cares about us.
Congratulations, Mr. Coons. Thank you for always being an amazing teacher.
You really deserve this, and I wouldn't think of anybody better to give it to.
Sarah Strittmatter. I work at Westridge Middle School as a 7th grade ELA teacher. Okay, so the very best part of teaching is getting to work with my students every day, and then making sure that I have lessons and lesson plans that really value their own voices and that they have lots of choices along the way as well. That's very empowering.
There's a level of respect and trust that she gives them as if they are adults when they walk into that classroom. Her students never come in worried that she's going to judge them for asking questions or judge them for making mistakes. And I think all of that kind of encompasses why she is Educator of the Year this year.
I think every campus would want to have a Miss Strittmatter because she shows up for her kids in every way. And that makes a connection that I think is incredibly valuable. The kids really feel heard and understood, and they love her for that.
She's really open, hearted, and she's really kind. She makes everybody feel at home.
She includes everyone. She tries her best to make everyone feel safe, and she makes her classroom a fun environment to be in.
She makes the class more enjoyable for students that are not like shyness. You get out of that zone when you walk into a room.
I wasn't really good with
speaking up and answering the questions in the class. But because she makes everyone feel welcome, I felt like more confident.
Yeah, she used to like connect with each student kind of individually, and her classroom was just like really chill. It's good energy.
She speaks to them with an excitement, like she's excited to be there. She gets down on their level, she engages in conversations with them, and they feel so safe and inspired at the same time. She is truly a phenomenal, magical teacher, and I love being in her classroom.
I'm Jenna Scott. I teach at Westlake High School, and I teach honors and AP chemistry.
Miss Scott has passion for teaching, and she does everything with open heart and all of her attention, and she deeply cares about kids, and she lets them know. She's very vocal about that, and I think that's what makes her really special.
She's not just a chemistry teacher. I tell her about a lot of things outside of that, and I think that's allowed me to grow in a lot of different ways, just because she's been able to help me with my weaknesses and then also like strengthen my strengths.
I like having somebody that will push me but also like catch me if I go too far, and like she always did that.
Miss Scott is continually trying to find interesting and creative ways to educate them and make it accessible through humor, through puns, through stories. She does a great job at making the kids feel comfortable, and everyone just loves her.
She gives all of her time and all of her attention and all of her energy into teaching, and she engages people because she gives more than just the knowledge. She helps us want to learn.
Well, I always hope that my students fall in love with chemistry a little bit like I did, but I really just hope to leave Westlake a more inclusive place to be proud of.
I've never met someone so dedicated to every single thing she does, and everyone, regardless of their ability. I've seen her work with can reach any kid.
Jenna is an absolute gem of a person. She is a yes person where she will make anything happen for the kids, and she just has such a fun spirit that I absolutely love working with her.
Well, I definitely bring a lot of energy into the classroom. I'm not afraid to just kind of make a fool of myself in front of my students. I love creating like catchphrases or things that help them learn, but are also fun and engaging.
She's very up close and personal. Like, she'll teach in the corner of the room, she'll teach next to you, she'll teach sitting on your desk, she'll teach like in the front of the room, and she has a ton of analogies for things that you wouldn't expect. It's more of like she's connecting it to real world things, and it makes it so much easier to learn.
Miss Scott is a really positive person. She's really passionate about what she does. Congratulations, Miss Scott.
Well, you've met them by video. Now let's welcome them in person as our Educators of the Year make their way to the stage. Let me ask, how many of you have previously been Educators of the Year on your campus? Would you stand, please, so we can also recognize you as well? And now here they are, our 2023 Educators of the Year.
Please welcome the 2023 Educators of the Year. From Barton Creek Elementary, Colby Cobo. From Bridgepoint Elementary, Carling Crawford. From Cedar Creek Elementary, Katie Goldschmidt. From Eanes Elementary, Jonathan Azeron. From Forest Trail Elementary, Brad Corbett. From Valley View Elementary, Courtney Jerome. From Hill Country Middle School, David Coons. From Westridge Middle School, Sarah Strittmatter. And from Westlake High School, Jenna Scott. And now, District Educator of the Year, Jenna Scott.
Gotten one of those fancy things. Happy birthday, Jeff Nixon. Where are you at? Happy birthday. Thank you all. I really cannot believe I'm up here doing this right now. I'm actually a little more nervous than I thought I would be, but I promise I'm not picturing you naked. Instead, I'm just going to picture you as my typical audience of 16-year-olds on their phone, one ear butt in. As I began thinking about what I wanted to say in this speech, I became instantly grateful for all the people who helped me become the teacher I am. The teachers of my personal past, my amazing parents, and all the teachers here at Eanes who inspire me every day. But as I think way back to the very beginning of my career, there's always been one person who was there for me. She shared with me inspiring words and endless support, someone who could always make me smile when I was having a hard day. And that person is Taylor Swift. So just like Taylor, I started my career a little bit country in the small town of Columbus, Texas. Yep, no, we don't have to woof for that. I'm better here. I began in November of 2006, just one short month after she released her first self-titled album. I can still remember sitting in my windowless classroom after school working on lesson plans and taking that CD and putting it in the tower of my desktop computer. We'll just say I am not feeling 22. And I would sing along loudly to Tim McGraw and Picture to Burn, thinking about all the times I should have said no to teaching 4 different preps, being the cheer coach, running multiple UIL events, but at the same time, loving every minute of it and knowing that teaching is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Since then, Taylor has gone through many eras, and I've kept her playing in my classroom, but nowadays on much more modern streaming services. Whenever I meet another Swiftie, they usually say something along the lines of, Taylor must have read their diary because her songs perfectly describe their life. I believe one of the reasons that Taylor has found the success that she has is because her lyrics have an emotional depth and authenticity, I practiced that word, that people can relate to, and I call these her Taylor truths. She beautifully weaves lyrics about connection, resiliency, independence, love, and heartbreak, and these concepts are so universal that these Taylor truths are also teaching truths. I couldn't agree with Taylor more when she sings, August slips away like a bottle of wine. At the end of each cruel summer comes too quickly, and I find it's hard not to find it all a little bittersweet. Even as summer went away, still the yearning stays. That desire to sleep in, do anything, do nothing, go to the bathroom anytime I want. But as wonderful as all those things are, there's something truly magical about the ability to begin again. The start of a new school year is filled with unlimited possibilities. It gives us the opportunity to connect with new teachers and make new friends. I remember it all too well teaching during the pandemic and that feeling of isolation. Now more than ever, it's important to get out of your classroom and meet other teachers. Say, hey, let's be friends. Because these connections will provide you with a network of knowledge and support. Honestly, I'm only up here today because of the amazing teachers I work with at Westlake and Westridge. I would name each of you individually, but I knew as I walked up to this podium, I would forget to say your name. But hopefully, you all know how much you mean to me. I am a testament to the fact that the teachers in this district are masterminds and will help you become the best teacher you can be. The school year's new beginnings give you a new group of students to embrace. And maybe this is wishful thinking, probably mindless dreaming, but I hope you have the most incredible students this year. Students who engage when you say, I think it's time to teach them lessons. Or students who know that today is never too late to be brand new, and the mistakes they made yesterday are in the past. Students who believe they are bigger than the whole sky. You must remember that each student is an individual, and some will need second, third, and 100th chances. But maintain your patience, because the extra love and support you pour into those students will yield those enchanted teaching moments. And when it does, capture it, remember it. My last recommendation as we embark into this new school year is to embrace new opportunities. Even better, create new opportunities for both your students and for yourself. Because honestly, you've got no reason to be afraid. Lately, I've been saying yes instead of no, probably more than I should, but it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. But it's hard when Eanes is such a special, magical place where anything and everything is possible. By taking risks, you can look back and say, look what you made me do. And look how much better the community is because I did it. I gave my blood, sweat, and tears for this, and I hope one day when I leave Westlake, my legacy outlives me. And I will be screaming, long live, at all the magic we made. So just as Taylor's hearts, oh my gosh, start over. Just as Taylor's music touches millions of hearts worldwide, we as teachers have the potential to shape lives and inspire generations. I only teach science, but by my calculations, one teacher has an exponential effect on the world. So when the days feel long, but the minutes fly by so quickly you can't get anything done, I suggest you take a deep breath as you walk through the doors, listen to some Taylor, and remember what you do every day matters. As I wrap up, I want to thank Taylor Swift for all of the inspiring lyrics, the ones that I borrowed for this speech right here. And lastly, here's a toast to my real friends and all the fun we'll have on the weekends. And here's to my family and all the support they've been giving me lately. And here's to my mama, who has to listen to all of my teaching drama. And here's to you, because teaching is a hard thing to do. Thank you. Go Shaps. Go Bills!
Congratulations. Great job.
Congratulations, Mrs. Scott. Please remember how nice and funny I am when I take your class in 5 years. Now please direct your attention to the screens as we present the worldwide debut of this year's Eanes Education Foundation video.
Welcome to the shared journey of Eanes Education Foundation and Eanes Independent School District, a testament to the belief that we're always better together. Our mission is to enrich every student's life on every campus in every classroom. It's not just about funding additional teachers and staff positions, it's about weaving a tapestry of shared commitment and success. Since 1992, Eanes Education Foundation has collectively raised over $31 million, impacting the lives of over 155,000 students. EEF has funded positions for 631 dedicated educators and teachers, positions that wouldn't have been funded by the state of Texas. Every student in Eanes ISD benefits when we come together, because together, we achieve more. In this shared journey, we rely on each other. Over 250 volunteers, 90+ local businesses, and our dynamic 37-member board are all integral threads in our district's tapestry, which stretches across 10 campuses. From nurses to safety and security officers, from librarians to counselors, and from specialists to advanced classes, every role is vital. And when we unite to support these roles, we show that we're not just better, but stronger together. Without your unwavering dedication to your children and the quality of their education, our district would not be able to fund these essential positions. Every donation truly makes a difference. Whether it's $1 a day or $1,500 to cover the per-child gap in funding, your generous support strengthens our collective commitment to a better standard of education in Eanes ISD. Last year, we raised $2.65 million together, funding over 52 teachers and providing a special year-end gift for all educators. This year, our goal is $3 million+ continued contributions to our Eanes Endowment Fund, which helps fund the future, our future. To achieve these goals, we need everyone's help and unity. Let's ensure that the future of every child in Eanes is the very best it can be. Because when we come together, we're not just better, we're unstoppable. Join us. Support the Teacher Fund today by visiting www.eaneseducationfoundation.org.
Well, welcome back to a new school year, everybody. And I am sorry, Jenna, I have no Taylor Swift lyrics in my presentation, and Jonathan, no trapeze acts. Although I did say to our tech students, why is it that the superintendent never gets any special effects? So I don't. Thanks. Thanks, Michael. They are amazing, and we have more fabulous students to come in this morning's program. So in the next few minutes that we're here together, I want to welcome you to this new school year, and I want you to know how glad I am that you are here right where you belong. Those are three very simple words, aren't they? You are here, but they're also very powerful because they represent the fact that we are all together in the present, at this moment, at this time, as one school district, as one family. Now, I do want to acknowledge that with nearly 1,000 people in the room this morning, there are probably many reasons, many mindsets about being here today, all right? I know that some of you are here finally. You feel like you have arrived. This is someplace you've always wanted to be. This is a destination district, and here you are. Some of you are here excitedly. We can hardly contain your enthusiasm this morning because you are ready to go. Some of you are here nervously. This may be your first teaching assignment or your first year in Eanes ISD, and the butterflies are natural. Some of you may be here proudly. You have great pride, like I do, in working for the #1 school district in the state of Texas and a top 10 school district in the United States. Some of you are here happily. You have looked forward to this day for the last several weeks, anticipating being with all of your friends and your colleagues and soon your students again. Some of you are here barely. You're still on summertime. 8:30 is a foreign time on your clock. You're not used to being awake at this hour. I saw some of you drag in this morning, but nonetheless, we're glad that you are here. Some of you are here begrudgingly. I admit that. You would much rather be in your classrooms. The bulletin boards, the lesson plans are calling, and that's all you can think about this morning. This is not where you want to be. We only have a few more minutes together. Some of you are here surprisingly. If you had looked back a year ago, you could not have predicted that this is where you would be today. So much changes in 365 days, doesn't it? But why you're here, how you're here, all of that is irrelevant because the fact is that you are here. And I want you to know what a difference you are here makes. It's very important that you're with us today because you are going to make a difference in the lives of your students. And as you think back over the last year, I certainly recognize this now. It's also true what a difference a year makes. So much can happen in the life of an individual, in the life of a school district. So as I have moved around the district over the last year, I've kept tally of the top 5 questions that I've been asked. Because I really feel like these represent milestones, important and significant guideposts in the achievement of our school district. So I wanted to just kind of recount some of those questions for you. Number 5, will we get a raise? I want you to join me in acknowledging the 7 individuals who made sure that you got one of the largest pay increases in the Austin area, and not just a 5% increase on the midpoint, but everybody got 5% across the board. Would you join me in thanking our Board of Trustees? That was significant. The other question that I've often been asked is, how much will EEF give? And you just saw in their video a moment ago, nearly $3 million given to our school district. I can tell you from moving around the country and interacting with other superintendents and other school districts, we have one of the most prolific education foundations in the country. So to our EEF board and staff who are here, thank you. Here's a question that I never would have dreamed would come up over the last year. Will we create our own police department? A year ago, we had no idea that this is something we would be doing, but here we are a year later, and we are so fortunate to welcome a new staff of safety officers, soon to be commissioned police officers in our school district. They're with us here this morning. Would you please join us in welcoming them? Stand up. Let's see you. Guys, stand up. They're here to keep you and your students safe, and we're so grateful that they're now a part of our family. So the next question that I often heard as I moved around the district was, will bond propositions A, B, and C pass? And a testament to the generosity of our community, we had one of the highest passage rates among school districts who had referendums on the ballot in May in the state of Texas. So this is a community that supports you and supports our schools. So we are very fortunate that all three of our propositions passed with very high margins. So the last question that I heard as I moved around the district was this one. And that's all I have to say about that. Because my wife told me not to say anything. Actually, I do have something else I want to say about that. As I moved around the district, evidently I said something last year during Convocation about this, and so people would often ask me, how's Scott doing? Has he found a girlfriend yet? In fact, I was at Hill Country Middle School, and during the Q&A part of our staff meeting after school, Brenda, the first question she asked was, has your son found a girlfriend? And I thought, of all of the pressing issues that we have in our school district, that's the first question that you have to ask me. And so I would text Scott, and I would say, Scott, these people really care about you. They're concerned. And then I realized the truth is, you're just plain nosy. You're nothing but a bunch of inquiring minds. So those are 5 of the most often asked questions that I encountered as I moved around the school district. I will tell you that in our family, we did add another family member last year. Over spring break, our daughter Carly married Branson Hardcastle, and it was a beautiful wedding. But you know, before the wedding, there's always the marriage proposal. And there's a story behind this because we had this really elaborate trip planned over Labor Day weekend. And Carly thought that as a family, we were traveling back to upstate New York to show Branson where the kids had lived and grown up and where they had gone to elementary school. What Carly didn't know was it was a setup. And we were actually traveling there because there was this surprise proposal in the works, and Branson's parents were going to be flying in and surprising everybody as well. So we had it all planned out. And the morning that we were to leave, you probably know if you've flown out of Austin Bergstrom at very early in the morning. I think we had a 5 a.m. flight. And so we'd actually stayed at a hotel the night before, and so that we could be close and roll out of bed as late as possible, get a little bit more sleep, be close to the airport. And so the plan was that we were going to go to the airport, I was going to drop the family off, and then I was going to go to one of those off-site parking spots. And so I got them to the terminal very early in the morning. We could already see that the lines were long inside. They got their luggage out. They all went in and started through security. And I was trying to figure out what's the fastest way that I can get to the parking spot. I'd been there before, and I knew that really the only way that I was familiar with was to go out of the airport, back on 71, driving west, do a Texas U-turn, come back into the parking facility. And I thought, okay, we're already pressed for time. I've got to maximize every minute that I have. How am I going to do this as quickly as possible? So I did what all of us do. I asked Siri, what's the fastest way to the parking spot west. And sure enough, Siri showed me a route that I didn't know about. And I thought, this is great. I felt so smart. And so I started out on this route through the airport, winding through the roads. I could smell the jet fuel. I could see the twinkling runway lights. I could hear the revving of the engines as they're ready to taxi and take off. And I thought, I have found a back way into the parking spot. And then I realized the road that I was on had turned to gravel. And I came to a gate that clearly was not for public access, and I saw this sign, and I realized that I was stuck. And not only was I stuck, but time was running out, because my family was inside, getting to the gate, and I was afraid that I was going to be late, maybe even miss my flight and miss the marriage proposal. So I sat there for a moment, I collected myself, and I did what every other level-headed leader and father and husband would do. And I called my wife and I said, "You're going to have to come and get me. I'm stuck and I don't know how to get out of here." Well, I innovated in that moment. Didn't jump the fence. I actually had to retrace my path, back the car up, go through the airport again, back out onto the highway, around 71 to the parking spot, got on the shuttle barely, and got to the gate just moments before the flight was to leave. It all worked out. But isn't life like that sometimes? Maybe your path to Eanes ISD has been a little bit like that as well. It may be that you followed all the directions, you took the advice, and you are here, but it's not where you expected to be. And I want you to know that's not by accident. It's a good thing. We're glad that you're here. In fact, over the last few days, as we've interacted with our leadership team and all of our new teachers, we did this activity where I gave each one of them a map and I asked them to use a red marker and a straight edge and chart where their path and their journey in life had taken them. Where they were born, where they went to school, where they worked. Some of them, they just drew a circle around Austin. Some of them, a simple, maybe 1-inch line somewhere from within Texas, maybe El Paso, Laredo, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, to Austin, and that's the extent of their journey. And that's great. Some of them, their journeys looked a little bit like mine, like a bowl of spaghetti, an intersection of angles and interwoven arcs that lead you all over the country. And inevitably, you probably had your first busload of students, your first class of kids that you'll always remember. Mine was this group of 27 children in first grade at a suburban St. Louis elementary school 35 years ago this month. I'll never forget them, and some of them still stay in touch with me today. And from there, our family travels took us to New York, and then Chicago, and now here to Austin. And here we are. Now, maybe your map looks something like mine. I don't know about the geography of your journey. It could be that your most exciting adventures have occurred just this past summer or here within the Eanes ISD School District. I've heard all of these stories about grand travels this summer. Cindy at Barton Creek, who traveled to Nairobi to teach music to children. Sharon at Cedar Creek Elementary, who left us for a suburban district in Dallas, only to realize that it was not like Eanes ISD, and she came home again. Rachel at Valley View, who moved here from Nashville with a truckload of things for her classroom, only to be overwhelmed when she was met by a troop of our maintenance and custodial staff who unloaded everything for her and took it to her classroom. Becky, Jenny, Emily at Forest Trail, who all traveled to Israel together. Ellen, one of our trustees, who spent much of the summer in Africa, Cape Town, Victoria Falls. Carol, Elizabeth, and Sarah, who bravely took a whole group of students to Japan from Westridge Middle School. Kathy, here at Westlake High School, who traveled Europe this summer to follow the Band of Brothers route so she could learn about World War II history and incorporate that into her classroom. Or Kathy at Hill Country, who evidently spent her entire summer at Disney World. Why you would sacrifice your child's college education for that, Kathy, I don't know, but it's not for me to ask. Or our amazing bus drivers, who every day together total more than 22,000 miles driving our students safely to and from school. Now, appreciating where your journey has taken you is important, but looking back on where you have come from is also essential. Because as Dr. Seuss said, even though you may be here, you were there. And Dr. Seuss said, there to here and here to there, funny things are everywhere. And I know that to be true because I have seen some of your yearbook photos. And these are funny. Some of them are alarming. In fact, I told our HR department, forget about scanning social media and doing background checks. Just go straight to the school yearbook photos. I'm glad they don't, because most of us probably would not be working here today. In fact, my picture is in that lineup. This is me in 4th grade, 1974, in Mrs. Sanders' class. I was ahead of my time. I wore the bowl haircut long before Jim Carrey made it fashionable in Dumb and Dumber. You'll notice that really cool suede vest, the big open-collared paisley shirt. I'm sure that I was wearing a gold chain underneath that. In fact, a few days after this picture was taken, I joined a traveling disco troupe. And we got as far as Dubuque, Iowa, before my mom called and said, it's time to come home again. Thankfully, we're not still there. We're here, right? But here is not where you are meant to stay either. Now, it's not that I want you to physically leave us. We want you to stay here. But while I don't want you to go from here, I want you to grow from here. And your growth and development, getting you from here to there, is very important to us. That's why we invest so much in our staff and in development. But getting from here to there doesn't look like what got us from there to here. In fact, author Marshall Goldsmith has said, what got you here will not get you there. Because everything is changing around us. And we have to think differently, just like I had to think differently the day that I got stuck at the airport. What got me there was not going to get me to where I needed to be. So as we think about you individually and as an organization, we have to think differently. And if we're going to move forward, we have to exhibit traits and attributes that will move us from here to there. We have to be forward thinking, because if we hesitate, we may stagnate, and if we stagnate, we will not innovate. And it's very important that we keep thinking about how we can get from here to there. So today, the clock begins ticking on your new school year. We're at a crosswalk of sorts, and these students are depending on you and me to lead them from here to there. And just like you, they have dreams and they have aspirations waiting to be realized with your guidance. You know, the curious thing about crosswalks and clocks and calendars is they're only meant to move forward. They're not meant to go backwards. They're meant to look ahead. And you are right here where you belong. As the song says, when the light turns green, you have 525,600 minutes to get from here to there. Actually, David Finkelstein reminded me that because this is a leap year, we have 527,040 minutes, but you get the idea. As you go forward, I want you to know what a difference you are here makes. And remember what a difference a year makes. This year, let's make a difference in the lives of each other and in the lives of our students.
or the way that she died.
It's time now to sing out, but the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember the year in the life of friends. Remember love. Remember love. Remember love. Measuring love.
We have such amazing staff and students. Thank you, guys, for the choir this year. It's become a highlight. We're so glad that you've joined us. All of these tremendous performances, from the Highline to the marching band to Eve to the choir today and to the tech crew. Thank you for your production behind the scenes. We want you to make this a great year because we are glad that you are here. Now, we have a tradition to open the school year. Jonathan, by the way, thank Jonathan Orrell from Hill Country Middle School. The best MC we've ever had. Jonathan, would you please open our school year by vigorously ringing the school bell? Would you do that? Mm-hmm. All right. Have a great year, everybody. Take care. Have a good day.
And the guy behind you won't leave you alone.